What it do? Thank you for tapping in for another edition of Live on Sunday. It is I, the greatest host in the known universe. I go by the name King Crowder. I want to thank you for tapping in with me. You could be anywhere in the known universe, but you chose to be here with your boy. Most importantly, I want you to
share the live, share the live, share the live.
What's popping this week, man? We are 48 days out. We are officially 48 days out from the illustrious first edition of the remembrance of Baby Bro's life known as Trey Day. If you are in Virginia, 757-540-434, 804-713. If you are in that area, we will be having a basketball tournament in remembrance of my brother's life. Remember, gloves up, guns down. Tragedy, what happened? Tragedy, how it happens to us, but we're not going to talk about it. We're going to try to do something about it, man. That's the flyer of it, of the legendary Trey Day. You've been invited. Cash prizes. More information will be given to you this week. Book of the week. Let's tap in. Let's tap in. It's an emotional one, y'all. And I think it's an emotional one because it's an emotional topic. Acts of Faith by Ayanna Van Zandt. It is a daily read. Why do I like it? I read it a while back, but it's a daily read. You go day by day, month by month, and you have specific information that stays with you. If you struggle to emotionally communicate like most FBA men are or men are in general, this is a good opening gauge to it. If you've never been taught about your feelings, what to expect, this is a great opening selection. Don't get me wrong. I agree that Ayanna has her ways, but I do think things that read to you or last to you are important to get. I believe this is one of those important things I want you to add to your library. I don't recommend anything I don't read, watch, or observe myself. So I want to tap in and tell you why I recommend that. And let's go ahead and get into today's topic. FBA boys are under attack. So is Juneteenth. Show is the non-FBA disrespect towards us. Let's go ahead and set the tone straight first, y'all. You know, I had an event. We do things. Let's provide some clarity for a moment. If you do not know, y'all, it's okay if you don't. This is all teaching and give each other game. This is the official freedman flag of this country. There is a black, red, and green one that is fine. I'm not going to sit right here and police it. But when they talk about the foundation of this country, what does Juneteenth mean, represent, and who it's for? This is the official Juneteenth colors and flag. The other flag you see is the Black American Heritage flag, the black one with the symbolic. I think it's a beautiful thing. All of these flags were made, created by foundational Black Americans to show that the freedom was earned, not given, was earned during the process of Jim Crow and slavery being fought and ended. This flag is the official representation because the lineage is in America. There's a whole detailed discussion that I don't want to steal from you and your knowledge that I want you to read about the 12 points, the color, the star, and everything what the symbolism was. It was made in 97 by a foundational Black American man who is an embodied this. Research it, find it on your own. Why is this subject important? We have to understand that Juneteenth is exclusively for the foundation. That doesn't mean other people can't join in. But what we have to get to that point is that no disrespect will be tolerated, accepted, or even embraced moving forward. Like the delineation, like the new movements that the foundational Black Americans are on, you have to understand this is not going away. The people of color, the melanated immigrants, the people that do not represent us are not going to understand that this is not a sticking point. It's going to go away. All you got to do is A, listen, B, accept, and C, move accordingly with it. If you didn't know, y'all, if you were misunderstood, this is the official foundational Black American flag. And the reason why I wanted to point this out to you, y'all, mostly the Black American hubs know the flag. The people that are not in Black American hubs, usually don't understand that. The New Yorks, the Milwaukees, etc., etc. This is Memphis, Tennessee, a really big foundational Black American city, just like Jackson, just like Louisiana, just like Houston, and etc., etc., etc. You notice those other cities that have more of an immigrant class, that have the off-code behavior, they don't understand the Juneteenth, what it means, what it stands for, or how serious that holidays needs to be pressed on us. When we talk about these events and these venues and people's ideology, I don't care about that so much. What I want you to understand is that I want you to understand the subtle signs of disrespect. Let's set the record straight. This is the Juneteenth flag. No discussion, no conversation. It's what it is. Our elder Black Americans made it, represented it, and stood on business for us. It would be disrespectful to not honor that, to not respect that, and to not stand on lineage business moving forward when this subject is brought up. Remember, Juneteenth is exclusively no debate, no negotiations, no conversation for foundational Black Americans earning their freedom during the period of enslavement. It's not for all Black people. It's not a Black holiday. It is a lineage-based holiday, just like the Caribbean-based holidays. Nobody disrespects that. Just like what they have in their countries, nobody disrespects that. It's okay to have lineage-based moments. What you got to watch for, FBA family, if you see people that have a problem with you having lineage-based moments, pay attention, y'all. If I have a problem with you doing something for your family, but you always have to include me, am I a friend to you? If I always have to include you in everything I do, and I cannot do nothing exclusively for myself, is that a friend to you? Or is that hostility? Is that a threat? Or is that somebody that deliberately has a problem with you? And the main problem I have, y'all, is this. When we do stuff actually in the community, I'm gonna do a humble brag on me right quick. When we do stuff in the community, when we have events where we give things to people that actually need it, that's me this weekend giving food, toys, resources. Shout out to my boy Lord for actually putting it together, y'all. You will notice that people that undermine don't give to each other. Follow me. Everybody that I know that says something, that has a comment, has a video, they don't give to people. They don't celebrate foundational Black Americans that need help. They don't go to the projects. They don't go to the hood. They don't check in. They'll pay their tithes at church. The one thing I love to hit people with, man, is when you paying somebody, you giving something, you give to the street. You pay your tithes to actual people in need. You actually give your time, your energy, the effort to those that actually need it. A lot of the times we'll always say, I paid this and I did this. No. Actually paying and giving forward, like I tell all my fellas, is when you do it outside. You know how we have all the people that need stuff, man. Shout out to the brothers, though, man. But shout out to the guy right here, Lord, man, Brother Houston. Shout out to him. You don't know him, follow him. He did it this weekend in the hood, over there making it happen, y'all. Seeing guys pull up, the other members, man, seeing these things. These are all kids. These are actual people in need. Those are people that need the shelter, that need the food, that need the clothing, that are actually hit the worst in this economy. When I talk about not just doing it online, which I love to do, spread the message, talk about what FBA stand for and how we got to circumvent that thing. But I want you to add this, y'all. When it's time to give to your people, do you just yap or do you do? Do you do both or do you just talk in one way? Do you establish things? Do you give help? Do you extend the hand? Do you go in your closet and give the good shoes? Do you give what you can to people that are just like you? Or do you do the name narrative? You talk about it, you complain, you write arguments about it, and nothing gets done. I want you to understand this, y'all. Many of the people that will undermine you will never be in the places that you are. Many of the people that have disagreements with you will never give up their time to help other people. Many of the people that talk about FBAs don't help us. They are not around our children. They don't love them up. They don't talk to them. They don't give them nothing. It is simply a punch down type of narrative. So you don't have to go back and forth with a lot of them, y'all. Like I do. I'm telling you, I don't have to go back and forth because I let my work speak for itself. Of course, I have many things. We're all busy. We all got a lot of things going on. True. But when it's time to give something that is going to benefit someone else, you can't get no time about it, you. You can't give nothing. I thought you had all this motion. You had all these things going on. What you don't understand is it's not that, y'all. It's a punching down tactic. So when you get online and you see the disrespect and you see people constantly undermining what our people need or who we're servicing, I want you to keep that in mind where they at. Because they will disrespect us. And disrespect can be subtle or it could be out loud. But what it can never be is direct. Because like I tell everybody, man, have your feet on land. What I mean is that you always on concrete. You always on pavement. You always do it in real life. When you do that, when you show the work, when you show what you're willing to do, they'll miss you with the talking points. The subtle bit of energy and outcomes they speak on, it won't have no bearing towards you. When they talk about what they FBA needs and you actually are around to see and you're servicing our needs when you can, you actually have a different outlook on it. You actually have a different level of appreciation on it. You actually have a different level of understanding on it. You won't let the self-disrespect slide. You'll get to see at bird's eye view what people are going through. You'll get to see how the disrespect is handled. And you will always notice they're not them street disrespecting them. They're not being off code in the real world. They're not standing on business and tell how they are in the real world. They're not telling the people in the real world they don't believe Juneteenth mean nothing because they can't. That is the whole point and misunderstanding of this topic tonight.
Man, what?
Again, y'all, Juneteenth is an excellent holiday. I want it to mean something. I want you to get the clarity of how important it is. And I want you to understand what it stands for. Next up, man. Oh, this is for the fellas right here, y'all. Ladies, I love y'all. But happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to my fathers that are trying to get it, that are trying to work, that are trying their best to produce and provide for their family, that are working hard. It is a thankless job. Being a father can be hard. Being a father can be challenging. Being a father can be one of the most taxing tasks and rewarding things you can ever be. The number one battle that foundations have to deal with right now, y'all, is the family forefront. The family battle is the most important one we will see in our lifetime. The reason why, on all fronts, our families are being attacked, harmed, our children are being attacked, harmed, disrespected, heard toxic music. They don't even have a place where they can just be themselves. You have to understand the world we are in now. Foundational Black American families, households, families, unions are the number one thing that we have to deal with millennial on down. In our lifetime, it is the number one crisis. Pay attention, y'all. Out of all the things you'll see going around with the young boys being hurt, harmed, physical harm done towards them, you will always hear the leader class speak on relationships. You will always hear them talking about stuff that has no bearing. But I have literally, like me, y'all, I check the scare waves. I check online. I try to find out who is talking about these major issues and what happened, man. And I've been on everywhere, y'all. I took a little breather this time, taking some little time, and not one person that we hear to speak on things spoke on this young man, Mr. Wiley, that happened in Mississippi. It's a tragedy. We see things like this where people use harm to harm our babies far too often and too long. If you're not aware of the case, I want to break it down to you how all of our babies are under attack. Children, babies, infants, Black boys, Black families. You need to pay attention to what's going on. You need to watch the news. You need to watch what's going on. You also need to modify how you go about your day and your response. I had a conversation this week, right? If you are a Black male doing well and you have a son in a all, cultured environment, you need to be careful. You need to teach them what to see. You need to teach them how to respond. Because the one quiet truth nobody else saying, y'all, Carmelo Anthony was an A student. He was not a hood baby. He was a young man that was trying to figure it out, and still trouble came to him. Let's keep talking. An attorney that represents Mr. Wiley. The police body cam footage shows excessive force in a deadly shooting outside of a Walmart in Mississippi. Think about this for a second, y'all. You are an officer and you see children all around. This is where we are right now, y'all. People do not have a respect or understanding for anybody outside of themselves. I know it's hard to hear. I know it's uncomfortable to talk about, but these are news that we got to bring up. Children that are black boys are not viewed as kids. I have a big viral post that's on my Instagram right now. I keep getting likes about it. And I was talking to a group, man, it might have been in April. And the conversation I said to them, y'all, is that after the age of 10, you're not a little boy anymore. If you have dreads, locked, a certain cut, if you tall in stature, if you're built outside of your ethnicity and your community, they will call you a young man. Yes, after the age of 9, I go there. After the age of 9,
standing on business,
they will call your son a young man. I didn't make the rules. I didn't say it was cool. I'm telling you how it goes. I'm telling you what I see. I'm telling you what I feel. I'm telling you what we read. I'm telling you what our scholars before me have taught, mentioned, and referenced. I think since integration, we have gotten comfortable. We have not gotten as alert. We have forgotten to teach our young boys just how different they are. And I know it's sad. I know it's uncomfortable, but the Wiley family had to deal with that. Let's keep reading. Van Turner, who is a representative for the Wiley family, alongside a private civil rights attorney, Ben Crump, who is about the civil rights, who is a civil attorney, which is crazy. Not saying there's nothing wrong with that, but you need to get justice before you get civil litigation. Said the police body cam footage in the incident will be the ultimate indicating that Cohen's mother and a friend who fled the store in a vehicle along with the youngster, following the report, they were shoplifted. Okay. They were shoplifting. Does that require shooting around that? What you're going to see is the vehicle is not a threat, and the force was excessive force, Mr. Turner told. Thursday, regarding the officer that was shot and killed. The threat is neutralized. They're using firearms. They're trying to drive away from you. That's the very definition of excessive force. We're demanding transparency, and we hope we get it. That's the attorney. An investigation into the police shooting is being conducted by the Mississippi Bureau of Investigation. Right. Like Mississippi has been a great, excellent hub for justice throughout history and currently. Don't hold your breath, y'all. I know it's uncomfortable to talk about these things, but we know Mississippi history. If you don't, look at the Mississippi burning. Look at all the injustices they've had. Look at how Brett Favre got cheated after he stole that money. Mississippi is its own place. A great hub is raw, but we know how to go. An investigation into the police investigation we will not offer any further comment at this time. The NBI spokesman wrote this News Weekly. A request filed Thursday by Newsweek on the body cam footage from the officer who fired the fatal shooting was denied due to an ongoing investigation. Turner said the police body cam footage was being noted by the police enforcement, and we saw this had happened in May of 2025. They need to be released. This is another picture of the young man. Cute young man that is only 1 year old. The Mississippi Bureau of Investigation said a statement on Sunday from the office of I don't want to say the incorrect police name, of Tate County Sheriff responded to the Walmart incident on US 51 to a shoplifting call, encountered 2 subjects with juvenile fleeing from the store. So we have a shoplifting victims, allegedly, leaving the store, being chased by law enforcement, and shots are fired. The police tried to stop the vehicle. The driver drove towards them and almost hit the officer. According to the bureau, the officer then shot at the vehicle, which drove off. The 2 women proceeded to drive to a hospital where Wiley was pronounced dead. Let me get this straight. They were eluding. They were allegedly stealing. And you shot the vehicle? Wait. You have not received fire. You did not shoot fire. You pulled your gun before anything was drawn on you. As the police tried to stop, they also hit them. Wiley's mother, Vanessa Wiley, was not hurt, but her friend was seriously injured, according to Mikhail Bridges, president of the advocacy group leading to the protest following the police deadly shooting. The officer who fired at the vehicle has not been identified, but has been placed on administrative leave, which is a standard practice for the law officers in that county. You know the one thing I don't like, y'all? When it comes to certain victimology with the newspapers and reporters, we post and we leak information and we support and suppress other information. Why do we do that? In this country, when it's literally a black client, a black child, they post the information. They have this 1-year-old's face plastered all over the thing. They do. Vanessa Wiley, meanwhile, said in the video posted on social media Wednesday that she was leaving Walmart with her son, who was supposed to be stopped by the police. I kept walking because I had nothing to do with me, she said. Her friend then got into the vehicle and began to drive in reverse. Added, when a police officer drew their gun, she lifted up her son to show them that he was in the car. She said the police car. By the time I sat back, it was 3 or 4 shots. One of them shot my son in the rib cage. Mr. Wiley, the grandmother, called 72-year-old Mrs. Stroh, told she believed the shooting was unjustified. It was unnecessary to be fired in the car, Stokes said. Why you draw your weapon on a person, potential shoplifters? Why not go into the store? Because they were rushing out of the store. They could have been in a hurry. Mr. Stokes accused the officers of impulsively while reporting on the incident. It was reckless. It was crazy. It was unjustified. And the Mississippi Bureau of Justice has to do an investigation. Why am I talking about this? Pay attention, y'all. Whenever perceived unwanted threat is happening, if you shoplift, they believe, I was always taught this and I could be wrong, shoplifters are supposed to be handled at a certain date. Pulling excessive force on a shoplifter before you even have a conversation with them, it's crazy. You're in the wrong already. Potential shoplifters do not immediate threat. That is a civil issue. It's the reason why you have inventory specialists. It is the reason why you have shrink on your subject line. Shrink, theft, and all of that stuff is already accounted for in companies like Walmart. All that stuff is already accounted for. So to know that you are willing to go the extra mile to make shrink from potential happening, it was dangerous. And what is the outcome of it? A 1-year-old child is gone forever. The family is traumatized. The mother is traumatized. The father is traumatized. The family will never be the same. What is the sign of, y'all? Our boys, when you have them in situations, Mom, and I know you didn't mean to, you have to over account for what will happen. Good, bad, or indifferent. If shoplifting happened or if it didn't, it doesn't matter. It does not justify a baby losing his life. But I want y'all to count this thing. Mr. Cyrus in South Carolina was accused of the same thing. People literally think when an incident happens, when you take something, there is no more, let's go through the proper protocol. They are literally trying to escalate once something is taken. I was always taught theft is on the job of the police. Happening, an investigation is on the job of law enforcement and the police. Of course, he used excessive force. Of course, he shot first before he shot. And if 4 or 5 shots were released, of course, he needs to be prosecuted. Of course, he was a wrongdoing. Of course, it was a bad look by the Mississippi police. You could have followed them around. You could have went after them. All of this happened because an alleged theft at a Walmart happened when 4 or 5 shots will be gone. What does this mean, FBA family? Watch the tea leaves that we see continue to happen. What I notice immediately is that once a child is in the picture, once Steph is being aroused, once people feel like you're taking something from somebody now, excessive force and brutality is allowed to be and happen. Follow me. If they feel that you have conjured or done something, if something has been taken for them, proven or not proven, excessive force is allowed to happen on Black Americans. That's the new rules. That's the new laws. You feel me? I'm not here to justify. Shout out to y'all. What you doing? What it do? Hey, fam. Hey, fam. I'm seriously, man. It doesn't matter if it was the mom's fault, y'all. It doesn't matter. If they stole or not, excessive force should not have happened. It should not have allowed to be happen. It shouldn't even be something that was justified just in case. Because remember, injustice anywhere is injustice everywhere. That young baby's life is gone. So if you allow the triplets to happen because you say it was the mother's fault, what are you going to happen when they perceive to take the same law in their hand like we've seen in other parts of this country? Remember this a few months ago when ICE was doing the same thing and people were saying, where has the law been when they start pulling the trigger and doing the same thing? I want y'all to remember this notion. What you allow to happen will stand to fester all around this country. If you allow lawlessness and lawless habits to take place, if you allow lawless habits to continue to go, if you do not have a standard of excellence that you're going to uphold, then you're going to have people take what they can do inside of their own hands. And why is this important, y'all? It's important because you will see situations like we've seen this week. I don't know if y'all been checking the airwaves. The Carmelo Anthony video was released. The Carmelo Anthony video was released. I'm going to try to skip to the parts of it because I want to summarize it. But I want to give you a 50,000 feet lens what this means for black boys and girls in this country. That is the seats enter the stadium. It's raining outside. They have hoodies on. They are at an outside athletic event at a school. Keep watching. You see the puddles. You see the rain. You see the lack of parents and other people outside. You see the skilled camera. You see the video footage. You see multiple people trying to warm up with hoodies on, rain all across this venue. Keep watching. You see everybody with umbrellas on, hoodies on. You see the venue really not clear. Look at the footage. It's almost grainy. You're showing them. Now I want you to take a look at this. Why is everyone not in the bleachers? Step number one. Everyone is not in the bleachers because the bleachers are wet. Everyone's not in the bleachers because it's raining heavy. So the notion that somebody went inside of another person's tent is a false flag. The notion that you should have been in a competitor's tent, it's a false flag. It's raining. There's no parents out there. It's literally beginning of the track meet. You have all of the students being appeared to move and go into the tent. Now keep watching. There's clearly an altercation that is happening. And if you know children, when an altercation happens, they circle it. Now, this is when the alleged comment is made from Mr. Anthony. This is the alleged conversation where he's saying, yo, I was attacked and I was hurt and I was provoked. I want y'all to pay attention. Look at all those students surrounding it. Do y'all not see 3 or 4 young men pushing somebody? I do. As someone that sees these type of events, I'm seeing more than one body moving and grooving. That's when the response happened. That's exactly when the young man walked away after being, having a physical altercation. He's running away. We're seeing what's happening. And we saw everything that's happened. Boy, we also see them going to an administrator or somebody in leadership. You see everybody walking over being shocked about what happened. That's Mr. Anthony again. He's being walked away. I see a backpack on.
If somebody is treating the victim, they need to be over there.
Under a memorial pen.
I'm going to put your handcuffs for now, okay?
You see him being handcuffed.
Dispatch 443. Everybody can slow down. I got the alleged suspect in handcuffs.
That's the officer calling in about the alleged suspect being handcuffed.
Right now detained.
Everyone else can slow down. Suspect detained and handcuffed.
Hold on. You can open up the channel, and medics are clear to come in. Have them come to the northeast entrance. That's It's gonna be a gate that's wide open there, and then you come to the victim from there.
Pay attention to how windy it is outside. Pay attention to how cloudy it is outside. Pay attention to the weather. Pay attention to how everybody is responding. Pay attention to how immediately the young brother was detained, removed, and forced to leave after a tragic incident happened to him. Pay attention. That's all I want y'all to do is pay attention. I want y'all to pay attention.
Suspects. Okay. We'll figure that in a minute. So nothing on your person at all?
Absolutely got pushed down.
By reaching your pockets and stuff and all that?
Absolutely.
Stamina? Okay.
I'm going to be out with this.
A little personal there, okay? Just to make sure. Okay. All right.
What I'm saying is that it's definitely rainy. It's definitely windy. The attack and how the people laid it out is clear as day. The question for me is this. Number one, when all of that happened, when the alleged went through the whole proper process, when you go to somebody and tell them to move, where were the leadership council? Where were the admin there? Where were all the people having this discussion? Why was this footage leaked Juneteenth for Father's Day weekend? Why was it leaked and sort of going out now? How did we have police eye footage of a young man being arrested, but no other conversation? Why is all this information being leaked after a sentence, after the trial, and everything happened already?
The victim's going to be underneath that tent over there, so I'll get medics.
Again, you see this young brother being arrested. You see this young brother being pulled out of here. You see no other faculty or anyone else approaching him when this happens. Immediately, I'm putting my leadership hat on. All of this was going on with no oversight. All of this was talked about with nobody else want to drop this video. All of this went on with nobody allowed to be seen what happened inside of that courtroom. Carmelo Anthony trial will go to appeal. Carmelo Anthony's trial will alter the landscape of Texas history. What do we got to learn from this? If you have your boys or girls in hostile environments where you deal with other people that have problems, teach them how to discipline and move correctly. I do believe the young brother defended himself. I do believe that what happened was no winners in that case. It was nothing positive that came from that. But what happened was you saw a young man doing something out of fear, out of duress, out of scaredness, out of simply trying to protect myself. No matter if it was right or wrong, if you agree or disagree with it, doesn't matter. What matters is that if we're going to go this route where we're going to allow children to be bullied, harassed, and laws to be bended based off initiative, where do we go now? The footage is doctored. Of course, we know that, right, y'all? We know it wasn't released during the trial. We know the trial was too quick. We know it was all type of sketchy. We know all of that. But now that we're here, that we lick our wounds, that we look back on the tape, and we see the injustices in the justice system, which we know, right? I don't know if y'all know. I got brothers all in the joint system, family, all of it. We don't have a court system. We have a justice system. Shout out to Jason Black. The truth. We don't get justice in this country. What we get is people, laws, and initiatives that are made for us. But I found it very interesting that the whole weekend after the trial, post-trial, all this footage and information was leaked. We couldn't get nothing beforehand. We couldn't get nothing done prior to it happened. We couldn't. You know what I'm saying? That to me is not, it doesn't puzzle with me. You follow me? It doesn't. I found it very rich, Mr. Fur, because I'm pretty sure you would defend the behavior of other people. Be careful what you try to go hard for, because I will ask you questions, sir. I will. I will ask you questions. I'm not going to say how you should feel, but I'm going to put your feet to the choir because I'll ask you the same question in a different light. Oh, for sure. It definitely was edited. It definitely was doctored. It was definitely changed. I agree with you. I think number one is being released after the trial was very interesting. I believe that was a calculated move. I believe it was something that was pre-planned and premeditated. But I also just don't want to get on the video being released. I want y'all to pay attention to how all of the people in the leadership class has responded. And I keep punching at these people since the video has been released. Our legal class. We got the Obamas having a law library for legal scholarship around this country. Pictures, information being docked, and nobody is speaking on us black children incidents. Nobody is talking about it. The Obamas made a brick press run speaking on all type of things. I want y'all to learn something right here. Follow people, watch people who do not speak on when you're disrespected, and watch people who see you get disrespected and don't say nothing. The former president has made plenty of conversations on things he finds important, on initiatives he wants to talk to black men about, on problems he wants to address black men on. But the entire trial, the entire situation, his legal mind, his Harvard legal scholarship, presidential mind, hasn't said nothing. What does this mean, y'all? You need to be just as hostile to people who are silent because they disagree. Right now, in this picture, in this thing, beautiful picture by the young lady, I want y'all to pay attention to something, y'all. You speak a lot of words when you feel and what you say. You show a lot of interesting points when you have a presidential sitting starting this Juneteenth with people outside of the community, with people outside of the interest points, and how you don't speak or address any serious issue or point of view. I ain't heard no Carmelo Anthony point of view from the presidents. I ain't heard no legal scholar point of information on what he stands for. Juneteenth, that's your opinion. I don't care. Me neither. I still don't care about him neither. I don't care about him, but I want to spread the word and get that in their mind, man. You feel what I'm saying? That's the point that I want to stick and stimulate with people. What is he not saying? I don't care about him neither, but I do that for other people to understand that. You feel what I'm saying? That's it. Juneteenth, you have a Juneteenth for the Father's Day. I don't know what this brother's talking about. Remember, they all silent. What are you talking about, man? What are you talking about? Hey, we call this right here, y'all, ladies and gentlemen, a deflection. Been silent. Everybody been silent. That's facts. That's facts. But as we move on, y'all, to other points of view that I find important, it's not so much that I agree with brothers all the time, but when somebody says something that is pivotal, I listen to. I like to have a response to it. And if you don't know, we mixed feelings about the brother. But when he's right, he's right. And when he's wrong. I want y'all to pay attention right now.
All them black people who went crazy for Palestine, I haven't seen a Palestinian American march yet for Carmelo Anthony. I haven't seen a Palestinian American march yet for Cyrus Carmack Belton. Where are all these groups? Where's the migrant protest on behalf of Carmelo Anthony? Where's the migrant protest on behalf of Cyrus Carmack Belton? We fight for everybody else. They never fight for us. And that's why I'm saying here and now.
He's absolutely right, y'all. I have this conversation when people ask me all the time, why don't you speak on other things or other issues? Why don't you speak on other point of views and other preference points? And my response is always the same, because they don't speak on other issues. I do remember how heavy the Palestine protest was going. I remember that. I remember them pressuring, saying things. I remember that. I remember when the migrant issues was happening. I remember that. And I remember how the energy is never matched or given the same. Brother Carmelo Anthony, Brother Cyrus, Mr. Young Boy, yes, Mr. Wiley happened. And the only people that speak on it are people of the foundation. The reason why I like to bring this up, y'all, remember, what people don't say is a message, along with people do say is a message. Follow me. If you have mixed signals, take that as a no. If I don't respond to you when you ask me how do I feel about something, you are telling me how you feel. You don't have to ask them where's the support. You don't have to ask them why didn't they go hard for us. You didn't have to ask them why they don't speak about the Carmelo Anthony thing. They agree with it. When you agree with it, when you champion it, when you believe that they are wrong, when you a believer that I do not have the right to do anything as long as you benefit what I got going on, that's all they're saying, y'all. That's all the messaging has to be moving forward. Let's make it clear. I like to make it clear with anybody. If you are not with me, if you do not stand up for me, you are against me. Period. There is no neutral. There is no middle ground. I don't even do that. Show me where you stand. I respect you more if you show me. I don't respect anybody that plays the middle ground. I think they are dangerous. I think anybody that plays the middle ground, that plays the middle fiddle, that tries to act like everything is smooth, they are telling you how they feel. They are telling you that I'm not interested in getting involved or actively involved in anything. Remember on the Sinners movie? Remember the Asian couple and the Asian character who wanted to benefit from what they were willing to pay them to do? But she put her husband and the rest of them life on the line because she felt, I'm not supposed to get involved. I'm here to get the money. What you deal with ain't got nothing to do with me. What you feel ain't got nothing to do with me. What you go through has nothing to do with me. And that's okay. The only thing is now, moving forward, it's okay when you do it. It's no problem when we do it. The same energy, the same feeling, the same animosity will be matched. That is all. So when he brought up those points, man, about the disrespect and how nobody else had them commentaries say it, man, it's what it is. That's it, y'all. You don't have to say anything. You don't have to go back and forth. You don't have to say things to try to defend yourself. Just stand on FBA business. Facts. Well, y'all ain't got to go back and forth. Y'all remember, y'all, people that call your names, I always ask them, name me the last 5 books you read. And be quiet. Name me the last 5 intellectual conversations you had. Then be quiet. You ain't got to go back and forth with them, y'all. Stand on the code and stay on the business. Stand on it. You ain't got to say nothing. You ain't got to defend it. Ask the questions and wait in response for it. You feel me? The one area that I love that we're in right now, y'all, we are anti-messaging. I gotta give a subtle win and a subtle clap to the family. If you haven't seen, let me always give you a clap about what's going on. All films that are disrespectful to FBA families will fail. All propaganda that is disrespectful to FBA families will fail. If you did not know, the film Is God Is was a fictional story made of an anti-FBA family point of view. There were people outside of our community speaking on us, talking about us, saying the same old talk and rhetoric how black families were bad. Is God Is was expected to be in a range of $4 million to $7 million domestically. However, it is projected to rank $18 million, and the box office failed. It only made $4.9 million. Let's clap. I love it. I love it that the bad, the non-FBA disrespectful films, the black rhetoric going against black families and black fatherhood on a Father's Day weekend are officially flopping. We need them to flop. We need to get them out of here. We need to remove that energy from being around, surviving around, going around. All of those films that are anti-FBA families need to go away. We need to make sure we send a clear messaging. Is God Is not the first. It will not be the last. It will not be supported moving on from us. We want accuracy. We want black love. We want black support. We want black mother and fatherhood. We want the love era to constantly be in. If you are going against that initiative, if you are outside of our community, you cannot thrive. You cannot win.
FBA energy.
You will not get the support. You will not have the champion of the grassroots. You will not have people in the field supporting that. We're past that now. That's music. That's entertainment. That's sports. That's film. Right now, y'all, it is hitting every single level. We are having conversations that I would never thought we would have in our lifetime. We got to circle the wagon and talk about this. There's actually a conversation about, yo, if you don't represent our cause and come from our culture, you don't need to do our films. If you don't have the FBA energy, the Black American accent, the Southern discography, if you're not going to show us in a positive light, we're not going to support you. There is no more you disrespecting us and getting our money. That is when the anti-racist businesses have fallen through the crosshairs. Right now, the Black American Renaissance is real. And I'm giving you the scoreboard.
Man, what?
You ain't got to believe me. Look for yourself. People can say, throw doubt, throw shade, give their opinion piece, tell you what they feel. But what I'm giving to you is called facts. I'm giving you the facts. I'm giving you the written information. I'm showing you the proof. I'm showing you the blueprint. I'm showing you the documentation. They say we're too busy watching Fox News. You stupid. You tell the truth. You feel me? I love it when all the wickedness fails. It's going to fail. You are passed down the portion documentation, liquid integration, falsified, fraud. You feel me? I love it, sister. Shout out to Miss A. I love her. But one thing I love the most, y'all, is that as we circle back and we read through these documentation, this type of work, this nasty work that we have been seeing, this cosplaying as a Black woman, and we got to really knock that out too. It's all gone out the way, man. It is. It will no longer be supported. What it do, Mr. Moon? How you? Happy Father's Day to you, brother. First more, man. Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day to you. As a father of 2 FBA children, I'm happy.
Talk to me, man. So did you see the flopping news about what happened in Mississippi, brother? Did you see that news story?
Yep. And what else is new? I mean, let's look at it this way. We saw what happened to Carmelo Anthony, right? Now, I didn't like what happened. I wish Carmelo walked away. But at least Carmelo is alive.
Yes.
That's all I'm saying.
Yes.
Now,
it's real.
I know my son, because let me tell you, I told you a story about my son, because he was racially profiled. He took 4 white cops on the grid. And the cop that finally arrested him said that your son can fight. I said, yeah, but he's fighting for his life. Now, in America, he would have been dead because they would shot his ass down. Right? Now, here's the funny thing about this. It's always the funny thing about this. It's always the same nonsense. FBA is always leading the way, never is follows. It gets boring after a while. And it's like, when is it going to stop, brother? You know, you can't have it both ways in one. You can't have it both ways in one. You can't say, well, you know, yeah, we're down with FBA when it's convenient. But I'm not FBA when it's not convenient. That's what I'm saying, brother. I don't know if I'm wrong or right, but that's how I look at it.
No, I definitely think you are going on the spirit of the battle of good and evil. I think we're just in a change in history, brother. During our timeline, we are seeing a change of the guard. It's scary, but I think that's all we're seeing with these outbursts, these police brutality happen so frequently. And we're talking about children, y'all, not adults. 17 years old, 14 years old, 1-year-old. What the hell? You know what I'm saying? Like these are.
How do you shoot a kid 50 times or whatever you want by accident?
Yeah. People
How many times do you have that? But everything's by accident. I'm sorry, I shot the guy. Come on, these are not policemen. They're just vigilantes.
Yeah, agree. Well, you got to understand, brother, since in our lifetime, police are not taught to de-escalate anymore. They are taught to escalate. You know what I mean? Police don't de-escalate situations. You know that.
Well, to de-escalate against Black people. That's what it is. Because my son would be a dead man a long time ago if he lived in the USA. And that includes my daughter. I hate to say it, I'm glad they're in the UK. But I'm just simply saying that's not an excuse for what's going on. What makes me laugh is that Black politicians don't deal with this shit. I mean, I love me Barack, but I'm just gonna say this right up here. I know you don't like that. I'm sorry, brother, but I know one thing. When all those brothers defended themselves against those cops, you never saw Barack Obama defending those brothers. He went to the funerals of all those cops, but he never, ever, ever went to those brothers that defended themselves. And there's an article in the Independent, it's a London paper, that said Barack probably did less for Black people than any president ever did. Now, I love brother Barack. I know you don't like him too much, but I'll say it this way. You know, okay, Barack, you can say what you want. I love you, brother. I think you're one of the greatest presidents. But bro, you weren't there when you needed to be. That's my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong, brother.
No, well, I'm harsh on Barack Obama personally, brother, because we see what Trump is doing. Love, hate, dislike. He rides for his people. You can hate the man, you can like him, but when he ride for his people, he ride for his people. Am I wrong?
You do. No, you ain't wrong. You don't hide it.
And I expect the same. I'm wondering why Obama didn't do the same. You can't.
That's the problem. I have the same problem because I can't understand it, man. You know what? What difference would it make? They weren't like you if you could have been all the things you wanted to be. But here's the thing: you did ride. You got a problem with that, brother. You got a problem. Oprah and Winfrey, please. All those other motherfuckers, please. Rock, you know where you stand. Because in the long run, it's all the brothers and sisters that got you elected. Here's the funny thing about all this shit, is all those Klansmen, all those neo-Nazis, they voted for Barack Obama. They needed Barack. Barack never talks about that shit. See, Barack had that thing. Here's the tragedy of it all. Maybe, just maybe, if he had set as a I may be the president of everyone, black, things would have been a lot different. He never did that.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think what's going to hurt him so much long run moving forward, I think your generation, Mr. Moon, will love him, and I think that's fair. But I think my generation have a resentment because we look at what Trump is doing. And I know it's sad to say, you can love him, you can hate him. How much he did for his people versus how much you did for your people is going to hurt his legacy. And I know that's uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? Nobody likes to say it, but it's true.
No, I agree with you about that, brother, because you know what, in the long run, look, my wife loves Barack Obama. She's an FB hardcore.
I get it.
But she will always be the first to say he didn't do shit for black people. I mean,
and I think that's where it is. No, it's all right. No, you tell the truth. It's nothing wrong with having intellectual honesty. And that's the main thing I feel about him, how I think about him, and what I believe. I just think moving forward, seeing the two presidencies and how they moved, he has that problem that he has to deal with. And I don't know how you can re-engage with young people knowing you didn't do nothing.
No, you're right, man. But I mean, who's going to sit there and take up after Trump? Is it going to be a brother? Who is it going to be? Is it going to be Cory Booker? I mean, I don't know.
I think what Trump has ushered in is the era of what politics has always been. I'm a ride for who ride for me. Remember, it was Barack Obama is the last political candidate that has been polished, intellectual, but now nobody wants that now. Nobody wants to hear you speaking, double speaking, and all. No, we want to hear what you're going to do for me. Period.
No, you're right.
So I don't think another Obama could make it in today's environment. I don't think they could. I think people are tired of it. I think people just want to hear, how are you going to fix things? We don't want to hear you're going to be nice to everybody. Nobody wants to hear that. We want to hear, what are you going to do? Period. I'm going to bring you down, Mr. Moon. I'll call you back up a little bit later, family. All right? All right, man. Love you too. We'll keep cooking, y'all. One of our guests, man. Shout out to the brother. I love that brother, man. He always chop it up with me, man. Good guy. Like we were saying, y'all, the film era of disrespect is over. The run, straight up, y'all feel me? Straight up, all that part, man. We ain't got to worry about it. Mr. David, I hear you, brother. You says, man, hey, come see me and talk to me. He ain't do nothing, y'all. You know, we just had conversations, talk about people. I love to do it, man, but we're going to keep it moving. We're going to keep it rocking. Next up, the diaspora is kind of I got mixed feelings. Let me stop saying mixed feelings. I love the honesty. I love the transparency that the 1 in 54 podcast represents because they are showing their hand. Do I get perturbed? Do I think it is dishonest? Do I think it is weird that they only have Africans speaking on FBA problems? I do. But what I think is important is that we need to have these and hear these talking points. Let's listen.
African Americans and Africans.
Oh, yes.
What they call it? They call it
the FBAs versus the foundational Black Americans.
Yeah.
You notice they always say, what do you call it? Then they know exactly what to call it.
So I slipped in a lot of stuff like that in the show without them knowing. They didn't get it.
Right.
But I slipped in some stuff to say, look, guys, we're all one. I mean, people took it wrong. Like there was one episode.
This is the foundation of this episode. 154 is to bring all of us together because there was that.
Then why don't you allow the other side to talk, brother? I don't really like him, y'all, at all. I can tell contempt. I can tell subtle signs of disrespect. And as somebody that reside in Houston that deal with non-FBA brothers, he is the ones that I had the most issue with. The reason why he said slick commentary, and I'm going at him right now. Whenever brothers say comments that I speak a certain way, no, brother, it's not because you're intellectual. It is because you got the tether Sambo energy. I am one of the most intellectual. So is Malcolm X. So is Nipsey. So is so many other brothers that are intellectual. How disrespectful are you to say it's because I'm an intellectual, they don't ride with you? No, bruh. It's that Sambo in you. It's that coon in you. It's that other side of energy in you. Do not disrespect women, us ever saying I'm intellectual, that's why I don't get along. No, sir. It's your politics. It is your emotional intelligence. It is your lack of intellectual curiosity. It is your lack of not having an understanding about what's going on around you. That is why nobody respects you. You from LA talking about you don't understand why it's problems? The social inadequacy in LA? The crack epidemic in LA? The economic destruction in LA and you don't understand? That's because you a Sambo, bro. You a tether. That's what it is. You don't represent us, so you cannot speak for us. So when we have these conversations, unless you have somebody that's going to stand on 10, chest to chest, neck to neck, forehead to forehead, and have a conversation with you, that's what we got to talk about. But these dudes right here, y'all, there's somebody that reside in Houston. I deal with them all the time. They don't like it when you stand on 10. They don't like it when you say it with your full chest. They don't like it when you are an unapologetic black man. They don't like it when you tell them, nah, I ain't for that. They don't like it when you're well-read, you're just as articulate, you're just as intelligent. They prefer to deal with somebody at the other end because when you stand on 10, you make them look flawed. You make them look weak. You make them look like they are not inadequate. They say slick points because they try to get that slick point off, but when you stand on and you actually doing it, they ain't got no answer for you.
And it was just like, this stuff was manufactured in a lab somewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
This should not be a...
Nah, it's a real thing because you made it a real thing, my boy. It's a real thing because you choose to be ignorant, my boy. It's a real thing because you are disrespectful and you don't like when somebody respond back to you with that same energy, my boy. That's the real thing about it. Saying it's manufactured, saying it's that. No, man, that is disrespectful. You got to listen in and say, man, why they feel like that? If somebody keeps telling me it's a beef brewing or some energy is going on, I'm listening. I'm asking, why is that like that? What's the problem? Why they beefing like that? What's the issue? I'm going to try to listen and find out because that's the leader in me. That's the person in me that's going to find out what the conflict is, and I'm going to try to resolve it with my people. If there's an issue right now, my boys got to squabble up and we got to shoot the fader, do what we got to do. I'm going to find out why. Is it over a woman? Is it over some money? Is it because somebody lied to you? Is it over a girl you're dealing with? What's the issue? Let's get down to what the original issue is and let's solve it. That's FBA culture. Immigrant culture don't do that. Y'all don't stand on 10. Y'all don't have those uncomfortable conversations. Y'all don't have, we got to figure this thing out because it's all we got. If we got a beef, we got a problem, we're not going to leave until I hug it out and get it right. That's not a part of you. That's the reason why, man, you don't recommend to have that problem like that. That's it, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's the problem. That's the issue. I agree with you. For real. Ignorant comment, brother. There's nobody that want to fight that. I fight people that do not stand for nothing. You are making it internalized with an ethnicity or lineage. No, sir. I fight any man that does not tell the truth about things. That's it. Don't try to change the subject neither. I stand on 10 when it comes to any man, any ethnicity. If you are not a person that's going to stand on and be honest, it's going to be a problem. That's how I was raised.
Real thing.
Yeah.
So
I try to slip stuff in there to discuss it. And you know, I started some discussions. There was one episode where they misunderstood completely and they came for me hard. There's an episode where my character was like, oh, you know, Abishol has been followed by this white man. The top is the white man. The bottom is the African, you know, that whole thing. But that's how old school Africans think. Yeah. And then I had the other character, Gloria, the African American nurse, say, you're talking nonsense. Yeah. If you get stopped by the police, you think they're going to go, oh, I'm from Benin City. You're still.
Why is it always the commentary of being stopped by the police? Every foundation of Black American doesn't get stopped by the police. We understand that it's deeper than that. We understand redlining. We understand convict leasing. We understand Jim Crow prison. We understand the prison industrial complex. It is not just a police stopping. We understand it's deeper than that. I always notice when it comes to somebody outside of the lineage, that is their main commentary or point they stick with. And that is not something that we constantly talk about. Being stopped at law enforcement, as sad as it is a norm among FBA man.
Man, what?
We know this. We know how to deal with the police. We know how to be on whole court in the street. We know how to interact with the police. As sad as it is, we are past that phase. We are talking about the day-to-day individual conversations and individual habits we got to deal with. Stop saying dealing with law enforcement is the issue we're referring to. It's not it. We're talking about dealing with you. We're talking about being around you. We're talking about that commentary that you make around you. We're talking about you not addressing the stuff that's happened where your homeland is and where your family is about you. We're talking about the scamming and different cultures that y'all got going on around you. We're talking about the tribalism and the colorism battles that y'all have that you try to infuse with us. We're talking about that. You're trying to deflect, pivot, change, alter that conversation, and we're saying,
man, what?
Let's get back to it, baby. That's the real issue. The real issue is that they can't be talked about. That's it. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. We had to stop watching anything with him. I agree with you. I'm already there, but I notice now, especially where I live at, Will for Ignorant, shout out to the sister for saying that. I notice a lot where we live, y'all, and again, having a Black male organization dealing with multiple ethnicities, when you stand on 10, they are surprised with that. I'm serious. When you stand on 10, when you are confrontational, when you have a intellectual discourse, when we got to have a man-to-man conversation, a lot of them don't know how to handle that. They do view it as a problem because of how we get down. It is not meant to be disrespectful. It is not meant to be disingenuous. All it is meant to do is show you how we address things. That's it.
Black, it don't make no difference. So I had the other character counteract that. Yeah. But what happened was people took just my character's part of it and edited out the African-American character. And went, look at what this woman's written about African-Americans. She hates us, these Africans. And I'm like, you got to watch the whole scene. And you'll see that the African-American rebuts what she said.
I want y'all to pay attention to something, y'all. Whenever these conversations are had, there is never a FBA in the room.
Standing on business.
Whenever you have a conversation where the party you're talking about is not there, we call that an echo chamber. An echo chamber is when I have a whole lot of ideas with people that think, believe, look like, or listen to me. The sad part is that when you go on a microphone in a podcast and you are refusing to have intellectual discourse with anybody that thinks, that looks, or has a different point of view as you, it shows that you are biased. Again, You are having this conversation among other Africans, telling people how Black Americans feel. It doesn't work that way. You need to have someone in the room speaking what they saw, what they felt, what they touched, what they heard, what transpired in their mind, and what they did from that feeling moving forward. You cannot make an outrageous claim saying this is what the masses felt. You can't do that. I have to have a certain person in the room with me that speaks on it, that qualifies to it, that are willing to have a serious conversation to it. That is how you qualify your credibility, not the other way around. To qualify your credibility, to qualify your claim, to show what you're saying and show that you're impartial, you got to have that conversation. You got to have those talking points. You got to have all of the issues being talked about and being discussed. The reason why is because we see firsthand the conversations that you're having when we're not around. What do you mean, King Crowder, man? You're saying a whole lot of stuff. Remember when we had the conversation about reparations when it first started? And remember what many non-FBA said about Black Americans asking for reparations. Let me play it back. They say we were begging. They say we would never get it. They say the conversation is stupid. They say we don't work hard. They say that we do better. They say that we don't need it. They say that it's disrespectful and it's disingenuous. Now, this is a president, current president of an African country, speaking about how they can get reparations.
A reparational discount card where we want to enjoy the reparations now.
Did you hear that? A reparations discount card. Not let's make sure the Black Americans get it first. Not let's make sure we pay it first and make it right for the people that we play the act in, getting those things to happen. Not the FBAs that were currently disrespected, the Black Americans who were displaced, not the Afro-Caribbeans that were displaced, not many of the people that we played a role in and traumatizing them during the transatlantic slave trade. We are worried about how do we get our discount card right now. When people show you who they are, you believe them. When people show you signs of contempt, disrespect, and overall not even a basic human dignity, you believe them. When people say you don't speak, represent, or hold weight for what I'm talking about, this is exactly what that podcast speaking about African and African-American issues need to be talking about. The realness, the real problem, the real issue, the real wedges, the real rubbing problems, the real issues that we're dealing with. This is one right here. Forget everything else, y'all. When we're talking about, disrespect, man, how this ain't cool, man, how this type of stuff ain't right, man, all that type of rhetoric, man. No, it's just, I'm serious. I'm serious, man. Yeah, it's hey, you gotta watch it. I don't think it's nothing disgusting to watch for. I want you to believe it, man. I'm serious. That's it. Let's keep it cooking.
Now, while we're on it, I'm 70 plus years old. So I'm not somebody waiting to go into the next world to enjoy reparations. And I'm sure some of you are of the same view. So we want to enjoy the reparations here on earth. And as I said, it doesn't have to be cash being given to you. You can be.
Remember, you are speaking about an issue that was focused and centered around the freedmen of this country.
Man, what?
And you are saying going against everything that we're championing, we're aiming for, and we're discussing. Every single reparations discourse that we have had has been cash payments to descendants of formerly enslaved in this country. And you get your 70-year-old president of a non-FBA background saying it does not have to be that. This is what you got to pay us. This is what we want in us. Not the people that were aggrieved, not the victims of the crime, not the people that need it most. Hey, I hear this reparation talk getting big now. Let me go ahead and do the Birdman hand rub. And with that Birdman hand rub, I want to tell you what slice of the pie I need. I don't want to wait on my reparations. I don't want to wait on getting my thing right. What I want to do is talk about how I can get paid.
Discount card, reparations discount card, where anybody who signs up and has a DNA identifier that allows them to enjoy reparational discounts can go to a number of shops where businesses have agreed that the Africans deserve, or people of African descent deserve reparations.
No. What you are doing, good sir, is diluting the issue. What you are doing, good sir, is changing the conversation. What you are doing is worrying about what your family could do. You're not worried about the victims. You're not worried about the people that you hurt. You're not worried about the former Africans that you hurt. What you are worried about is how you can benefit from it. And again, that is disrespectful. When we say we got to culture
standing on business,
this is what we mean. We mean right now, man, we got to stand on business when this conversation being brought up. We got to stand on business and say, hey, bro, this dude right here, this president right here that's on this thing talking crazy, that's having a conversation, does not represent what we are trying to get. He does not represent our claim. He does not represent what we need to deal with. He is a former president of Ghana. He speaks for Ghanaian citizens only. He are not talking about the facts. Shout out to Ms. Yeah, right now my history is going through the community today. Big fact. That's the problem. You don't get rid of it. Oh man, ignore these guys. Listen, we're doing this private conversation. What we are saying is, yo, we got an actual president talking like this. It is insensitive. It is disrespectful. It is egregious. Let's keep listening.
And I'm willing to give you 10, 20, 30% discount on your shopping in Harrods or...
Is he serious right now? What Africans at? Where's the 1 in 54 podcast talking about this?
Any business anywhere in the world. So these are ideas that have come and which we are propagating. And where there's enough interest and support, financial institutions from Brazil, Banco do Brazil, can choose to support this particular idea. And we go on with it. Then returning to Africa, it can be airlines, as I said, reparational travel. So airlines, so and so from Europe or wherever agrees to give you 30, 40.
I want y'all to pay attention. Everything is a self-serving entity, a point of view he's bringing up. Everything is how it will benefit you, not the aggrieved party. Everything that he is mentioning, referencing, discussing, or talking with is in a way to enrich the country that he's living in and his children will be at. Nothing that he is speaking about is to help people who boots on the ground. Nothing that he is discussing, mentioning will help the people that will aggrieve from crimes against humanities. That's how you know what he's saying is disingenuous at best.
30% discount on your travel. Some of you traveled here. However you came, whoever paid.
Travel when people need bread right now, bro.
For it. If you have 50% discount because of reparations, you'd have appreciated it. And this is something that can be instituted before the end of this year. If the right partners come together and be implemented. So ideas for reparations are numerous, plenty. And they don't always have to be cash in your pocket, but it can also be a discount that saves you money. More or less the same thing. But my point simply is that we must enjoy the reparations while we are alive. Because our forefathers took 300 years for us to get here. We also don't want to take 30 or 50 years to begin to enjoy the benefits of reparations.
When I say what conversations that need to be had amongst other people in the diaspora, this is what I refer to. When we talk about current issues, current problems that we're dealing with, off-code behavior, signs of disrespect, tones and words that are disrespectful, energy that we are mentioning that are disrespectful, this is what we're talking about right here. You have an active president of a African country talking about a reparations claim that was started, made big, made serious, and hit international news by Black Americans that will aggrieve from the country he resides in. And his response is to say, we don't have to pay cash reparations. We can do flight discounts. We can settle it this year. you can handle our reparations claim and what we got to deal with by making it easy and accessible for other people from my country to get a hold of it. Not let's settle it with people that need it most first. Not let's work it out with the people that were initially traumatized from it that we played a hand in. Not from people that really, really need this help. We, us, right now, where we are, want that money and discount first. When we say this is that underlying issue, Akbar, this is that problem that we're discussing, this is a real issue that we're mentioning, this is what we're talking about right now. Oh, let me get my other brother up here, Mr. Moon. I know you back again, man. You heard that talking point. You heard the African president get on live and say, we want discounts on airlines for reparations.
Yeah, well, you know what? Here's the thing. You hear me? Okay, look, it's called reparations. It's kind of funny. Look, Africans have a right to reparations. So the only reason you have a right to reparations because African Americans, FBA, started the FBA reparations. See, here's the thing. By your own admission, the real African Americans, I'll never forget when the ambassador of Benin went to Clark University and begged FBA for the forgiveness for the slave trade. That's the truth. We don't like to talk about it, but it's real. Okay? See, this is the thing about everything that FBA does, everybody follows. He's talking about all these other things, right? But it's always FBA that's got to run everything, right? So maybe you should start talking about what Africa is this or that. You know what I'm trying to say, brother? And just unite on FBA. But there's a lot of, I'm speaking as a person who lived in London for 40 years, bro. And there are Africans, conscious Africans that ally themselves with FBA because they know that without FBA, they wouldn't have nothing. This is the truth. Because let's fake it. Kwame Nkrumah didn't get his shit in Ghana, he got it in Harlem. All those African Americans, African scholars, and all that Pan-Africanism comes from FBA and Caribbeans. That's a fact. People don't like it, but it's the truth. What I'm trying to say is, this is very hard for me because I'm an outsider, brother. You know, but what I'm trying to say is, it's interesting that Africans want reparations and they have a right to it. But bro, before you get your reparations, FBA got to get their reparations. If I'm wrong, tell me if I'm wrong.
Conversation, period. We gonna stick it right there. Let me give you a round of applause for that, brother. And that's the whole point about this, man. And I'm gonna keep it moving, Mr. Moon. Is that you can't say I'm represent you, I have your best interest at heart if I disrespect you and I don't make it right first.
Yep.
How can you be a president of a country saying pay us first before we pay the people that we agreed? And I'm on national TV telling this, thinking I have a cause and a representation, and you understand why resentment is there.
Absolutely. I mean, and the funny thing about it, brother, King Crowder, there's all these Africans. I mean, no, I shouldn't say this, but all of them, they dress like FBA, they want to be like FBA, and all this dumb shit. But what they don't understand is FBA is more than hip hop, music. So this is dumb shit. Talk about medicine, science, all the shit. This is what I hate. Everyone always looks to FBA for all the shit that they're not, but hates everything that they are. What I mean by that is, founder of the North Pole, a black man, who invented the devices for the heart transplant, a black man, who won the American Revolution, the Civil War, every goddamn thing militarily without black people even one hat. It's always about shit.
FBA.
That is is ridiculous. I mean, I'm not saying there's nothing wrong about arts. It's funny when they talk about arts, they never want to talk about Arthur Mitchell or Alvin Ailey, the high art of ballet, which my mother, who is an Asian American, danced with. Oh, they don't want to hear that. They want to hear about the shit that they think that FBA is all about. High art, I don't like the high art because African Americans don't believe in high art. Art is for everybody. I'm just giving it in a whole different aspect. But what that man was just saying is the problem, because he never accepts the argument that what you got is because of FBA. And they will say, well, we come, FBA comes from us. Well, yeah, that's true. But FBA developed uniquely from you because they had no choice but to. And the point is, this is the thing. I hate to say this, but there are a lot of Africans, and I met them in London. They want to be like, I hate to say this, they dress, they want to be like FBA, but they don't like FBA. And that, it's a horrible thing to say, but I've been there, and I say it. And I always used to tell them, you say all this shit to them. Well, why are you trying to be like FBA? Oh, what you say FBA is. Right? Because they don't, if I told them about, the founder, the guy that discovered the North Pole, they'd be like, who, what? Because they don't know nothing about that.
I do get it. I got you. I'm going to keep it pushing, Mr. Moon. I'm going to let you fit it. I'm going to keep it rolling. You cooking. I'm going to call you back up, all right? Thank you for the brother, man. I love Mr. Moon. Good brother. Let's keep it going, y'all. Remember, people show you how they feel. People show you what they feel and what they believe by how they view you. This video right here, y'all hit the head waves this week. Remember that conversation I said to you, man, about the reparations point of view? I said how they are not even acknowledging how egregious the crime versus humanity was. Right now, I want you to see why this subject is what it is. This is a reenactment in another country speaking about how powerful the slave trade happened in Ghana when they were serving a household where they were literally transporting Africans in the transatlantic slave trade and how traumatic this happened. Number one, why is it important that you watch this video? It's important that you watch this video till you understand who was all involved with it. Ghana, the other Europeans, and the formerly people that were traded out of this country. It's harsh. It's uncomfortable. But why are you on showing that symbolism like your hands are clean? And can I say this? It's kind of weird. Why do you are so head-bent on a powerful reenactment on the formerly enslaved instead of talking about your part and your dealing in that history? I notice whenever the history, the Amina Islands and everybody else talks about the transatlantic slave trade, it is never focused on what their role was in it. Yes, it was an egregious crime against humanity. Yes, it was awful. Yes, it was horrendous, but you benefit from it. You profited from it. You enjoyed it. You felt it was normal to do. All of these type of things. Y'all really going in the comment, all this school shit, Lord. I ain't even paying attention, y'all. Listen, y'all rolling. I ain't even paying attention, man. Y'all cook up in the comments. Do your thing, do your thing, do your thing. But I want y'all to pay attention to this, y'all. All of these crimes that happen, that we see happen in real time, are a crime against humanity. While that was happening, you saw this African parent in real time, this African former president, speak on, I don't think we had nothing to do and we have nothing to garner or gain from the reparations point of view. There is a film called Roots that is impactful and incredible. There are many other Rooks before slavery, up from slavery, other films, information that I believe you should read. There are other things that are truly powerful, but the truly thing that is powerful that I truly don't believe that many people outside of the Black American community got to understand is that the knowledge, the teaching, the reverence for our history is something exclusively for Black Americans. Follow me, follow me, follow me. Many people outside of the culture don't have that reverence for uplifting what their story is. They look at it as negatively. They talk about their history as a downside. We reverence our ethnic cleansings. We talk about our losses and our wins. We uplift our ancestors. We have a different spiritual side due to the ethnogenesis that took place in this country. What this video that's taking place in the 154 podcast, again, is talking about the inter-fighting amongst other communities and how they literally do not have a reference for even their identity like Black Americans do. Pay attention.
The hatred between Africans and Caribbeans is so strong.
This is Windrush, right?
God.
Windrush came when? What is the Windrush? The 1930s?
Yeah, when Caribbeans came over to England to help after the First World War. So,
yes, right.
You know, they came over the 40s and 50s and 60s. They came.
Yeah.
And, you know, that colonialism, they brainwashed Caribbeans, Jamaica.
Colonialism is their version of Jim Crow, y'all. I want y'all to understand the words. When they say colonialism, what you got to understand what it means is that they mean Jim Crow. You follow me? This is what they mean about Jim Crow happening. This is what they mean about how their version of Jim Crow conquered them mentally and how it did not have the same bearing or effects on us. We have a different type of energy on how they affected us. Jim Crow happened in our era. But what our parents did is that we chose to internally ingratiate and build with each other more. I tell people all the time, y'all, people look at me like I'm crazy when I say this. Jim Crow was a great thing that happened for us. What do you mean, King Crowder? Jim Crow was great. Follow me, follow me. Jim Crow was the period when you had to say, we got to figure it out with each other. Segregation was when we were one of the strongest points, because nobody had our back but us. Jim Crow, culturally, intermingling amongst Black Americans, was a problem. We had our own everything. Mentally, we were our own. Socially, we were our own. We had to create our own music, which all the genres came from, our own standard, our own taste, our own swagger, our own cuisine, our own everything. Literally, the United States was white America and Black America. So that is what Jim Crow did for Black Americans in this country. Other parts of the country did not have that experience. Colonialism affected them differently. They didn't intermingle like we did. They didn't build with each other like we did. So when we talk about the communities and different spirits and different energy that we have, you have to understand what that means. So when you hear these words, y'all, I want to teach you. You know what I'm saying? I want y'all to understand you still doing Ghana. I want y'all to understand what it means. I want you to understand what period happened. I want y'all to talk about all of those type of things. You feel me? That's what I want y'all to talk about. So I want y'all to understand it. I want y'all to talk about it. And I want y'all to understand what's the point of this video. Let's keep cooking.
And didn't even know that they were descended from Africans.
Right.
I went to school with kids who had no idea. No, man, I'm Jamaican. We're Carbo. My mom and dad are Jamaican. And I'd be like, you weren't in... Your ancestors were brought to they did not know.
Wow.
Until Roots came out.
Which is a Black American film, y'all. Many sides when we talk about intellectual sides of learning the history, doing the knowledge, that is something that Black Americans always
standing on business.
That's culturally with us. That's mentally something we did all the time that we developed internally with each other. That is not something a foreign concept, y'all. That is something literally that is embedded in our spiritual side and spiritual energy. You hear it confirmed from somebody from outside.
They didn't know because they were deliberately kept uneducated.
Yes.
So because of that, there was a...
No, they were willingly kept uneducated. They were willingly along to go along with it. They were willingly an equal participant in it. Do not say they were willfully uneducated. No. I'm not gonna let you get that off. What they were was they chose to assimilate, they chose to deal with it, and they chose to go along with the status quo. It is uncomfortable to stand on FBA business. It is uncomfortable to say this is where it has to be. It is completely uncomfortable to do those type of things. When you have people that have a different mentality than we do, they literally don't know how to handle it. We are literally a normal side to say, nah, we ain't rocking with that. Nah, we standing on business with that. Nah, we not the same type of people. Nah, we have a different ideology. Nah, we have a different mentality. So when you say those type of things, I want you to understand where that energy comes from, where that mentality comes from. It is not something that is just poof out of the air. It is something that happened during a period of Jim Crow, during a period of separations, during a period of you having to figure it out by yourself. You know what I'm saying? That's it. Agree. Oh, yeah, she on point. Yeah, you on right, brother. 90% did go to the Caribbean islands. I agree. America. No, they didn't come from the Caribbean islands. Not true, brother. Only 4% did. Come correct, baby. Come correct. I agree. Alex Haley did plagiarize. He he wrote a period to get paid. Y'all, let's keep it funky. You feel what I'm saying? That's not true. This brother spreading fake news. You among intellectuals, man. Nah, they were not true, brother. I disagree. Only 4% came to the Americas. 96% came to the South America and Central America. Remember who you talking to.
Chasm between Africans born in Africa and Caribbeans, because Caribbeans looked at Africa.
I just noticed how much y'all going in the comments. I ain't even been paying attention, man. Y'all do y'all thing. Lord have mercy. Just pay attention.
Africans and like, ugh, they think they're better than us, and they come from the jungle and all this because they were all they knew about Africans was what was in the Tarzan movies.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then Africans look down on Caribbeans, going, look at them. They don't even know their own history. They use
what this is called, y'all, ladies and gentlemen. I want you to listen. This is called tribalism. Tribalism. Remember when I said to you, Jim Crow forced us to unify and get with each other? This is called tribalism. Tribalism is something we didn't get to experience because we didn't have that effect to be that way. When they say colonialism affect us this way, our version of colonialism is Jim Crow. How did we respond to Jim Crow? We responded differently. Other people outside of the Americas group responded a certain type of way. Black Americans responded another type of way. So when we talk about the infighting, the beef, all that stuff that we hear, I want you to learn. I want you to peep. I want you to follow game on these subjects. These are not isolated. These are not saying that are not normal. These are not things that we should not research, talk about, and check our notes on. Keep it cooking.
So there was that. So my mum wouldn't let me go anywhere. And she did not like it when I had Caribbean, Jamaican. I just Jamaicans, don't mix with them. You know?
Think about that, y'all. Why am I pausing it right there? I, as a Black American male, have never been questioned about any other Black American women around me. Family or friends. That's not among us. We don't have a mentality of questioning, oh, she's not Black American. Just not there. We have the mentality, hey, Black first. Hey, I want you to build with a wholesome woman. I want you to have someone that I meet their family that we build with. Saying that you have to be from a certain culture or they're from something else, that is not something intrinsically in us. It's not. We don't have that energy. We don't have that sense of tribalism. We don't have that sense of mentality. Y'all follow me? So I want you to understand something. When you hear these talking points, it's a teaching point. That is not culturally relevant to us. That is not something that we experience. That is not something that we virtually go through. Now, of course, you want to get vetted. Of course, you want to go through the proper process. Me as a girl dad that wants her to get married one day, I want to find out your family. I want to find out where they're home from. I want to take you through that ringer that you're willing to protect, provide, and profess for her. I get it. But to say this is what it has to be because you come from this, that ain't it.
No, my mom would rather I had white friends than Jamaican friends. That's how bad it was.
Insane.
And our parents, no matter what ethnicity you come from that's Black, doesn't say that. My parents never had white friends that they would say were Black friends. My parents never said anything like that. My parents, I don't even remember us having a white person over our house. Now, I understand why, because of the period of Jim Crow, just getting out of that. I get it. But I've never heard my parents of the foundation say a comment like she said. I don't know any foundational Black American parents that would talk or resonate like that. That doesn't mean that we didn't have friends and family. That doesn't mean that we didn't have people like that. But to say I would rather among FBA family, nah, that ain't us, bro.
So she wouldn't let me go to any parties. One time when I was 15, a girl who lived across the street. My house is here. This girl's house.
So when we talk about those other countries, what does this mean, King Carter? Why are you showing these videos? This right here is a check your stats and information type of moment. When I say culturally we are different and you got to understand that, this is what we mean. When I say that we have a conversation and we are speaking two different type of languages, this is what I mean. Culturally, Black Americans do not act like many other groups because our experiences with how we dealt with colonialism, our word was Jim Crow, was different. When I talk about how we think, how we process, how we feel, how we learn, how we go through, it's different. Many people outside of our culture do not have the tactics, the mentality, the social understanding, the social cachet, the activism, the politics, the economics, any of that stuff that we have embedded among us foundationally. They just don't have that. It doesn't mean it's a negative. It is just to see how we move. That is the facts of the scenario. No shade, no harshism. It's just what it is. Number two, whenever have these conversations, remember, it is always spoken from one point of view. You feel me? It is always spoken about we think this way, they think that way. How is it going? It is always a hostile attack from outsiders with it. It is always, this is what we feel, this is what we think, this is how we're going about it. Example number 8. Remember, like I told y'all last week, y'all last 2 weeks, if you've been rocking with me, make sure you comment, like, subscribe to the channel. All intellectual discourse is wanted, baby.
Man, what?
Remember, FBAs do not have an Asian business hate. We have a anti-racist business problem. You follow me? I don't hate anyone based off their ethnicity. We don't. We don't support anyone that is disrespectful, distasteful, and does not have the same energy that we have going for ourselves. Period. You can feel what you feel, think what you think, but if I put money in your damn pocket, you gonna respect me. I tell my lady all the time, don't go to that place where you didn't get no respect to get your feet done. You better go to the sister down the corner. Yeah, it may cost a little bit more, but you go where you are appreciated, not tolerated. You go where people respect you as a woman, not tolerated. I don't go anywhere where I'm tolerated. I'm about to get your nails, your feet, your hair done, but you better choose right. If I go in there and they got an attitude, I ain't paying for nothing. We sliding out. Remember that. It is not a certain ethnicity. No, don't let them play that game with you. It is an anti-disrespect problem. You are not going to disrespect me, my woman, my people, my family, my child, my son, my daughter, my cousins, my nephew, my mother, and think I'm going to give you a damn thing. No, you are going to have the same level of respect and above. I'm higher customer service oriented. I am very high respect level. If you are not respected, nah, conversation over. But when people say these conversations, y'all want y'all to pay attention to something. Then I'm going to respond again. Listen.
I finally understand why Black people need to celebrate Juneteenth for June.
Why?
They had to celebrate something in absence of Father's Day.
Pay attention, y'all. Remember, when people disrespect you, watch it. When people have animosity towards you, watch it. When people say disrespectful thing in real time, I don't want you to look past that. I want you to watch it. You ain't got to go back and forth. You ain't got to be angry. You ain't got to announce what you gonna do. I don't go back and forth with people on social media when they say stuff like this. I do this. Got you, player. You must be triggered. You still talking about it. It must really bother you. The thing about business, let me cook right quick. I want people to understand. If you do business, You don't need 100% of anything to affect you. If I lose 20% of my customers, I'm in trouble. If I lose 10% of my customer base that's no longer shopping with me, I'm in trouble. Stop saying, why don't we all feel like this? No, don't worry about that. All you need is 10 to 20% to cause change. You cocky, but I know numbers. 20% can make you go bankrupt. If you lose 20% of your customer base, if you lose 20% of your people that are loyal to you, if you lose 20% of people that spend money with you, you gonna feel it. You ain't gotta argue. You ain't gotta go back and forth. I just do math. Small business owners cannot afford to have that gash happen, that gap happen, that big thing happen. You feel me? I really do think that people don't understand or that doesn't resonate to them. If you lose that much money out front with people, you will lose a lot of money. Stop thinking it's small. If you are a small business owner, if you are anybody that do money, that do numbers, you have to understand they're saying the customer is always right. And it's true. We may not like it. We may not want to deal with it, but it's true. And if my customer base who I service tells me they have a problem with how I do something, and your response is to insult them, you deserve to lose it all. You deserve to lose every single thing that I happen to it. You feel what I'm saying? So if I lose that gash and lose that amount of money that is coming to me, and I'm making TikTok videos, and I'm using hip hop sounds and beats, and I'm being disrespectful while I'm doing this, remember, you ain't got to respond, y'all. You ain't got to get emotional. You ain't got to go back and forth. I want all my ladies to understand this. I love you. Anybody else tell you I love you? You don't go back and forth with no disrespectful man. No. You walk away. You walk away because you are a lady. I don't go back and forth with a disrespectful dude. Why? Because he ain't got nothing to lose. He ain't got no family, no kids. He ain't got no house. He ain't got nothing going on. I watch, I observe, I protect myself. But to go back and forth, to argue, to argue in the street, to campaign so both of us can look crazy? No. You play power moves. You move in silent. You don't say anything. You don't go back and forth. You ain't got to argue. You got a problem with FBA? Okay. Don't put your hands on me. I'm going to defend myself. It's true. But I always teach my kids, hey, bro, you don't go back and forth? Let me handle that for you. Ladies, men, if you have people that talk like this, they are trying to provoke you. With the step you got to get to in your adult life as a professional, as a husband, as a wife, as a person. Facts, I'm not saying don't let them touch you. I'm with you. Don't touch me. Don't put your hands on me. Hey, if they put the hands on you, put hands, feet, all of the above. If you one of the ladies in the chat, you better go on Amazon.com. I want you to get something called BERA mace. BEAR mace, bear mace, up to 20 feet. Any man they put their hands on you with that bear mace, they're going to hit that ground. You ain't got to argue. You ain't got to communicate. You ain't got to say nothing. But this is my fellas too, y'all. Stop going. It is going to hurt that person more if we all get that energy, because it's already happening. Remember, you don't make this type of energy if it's not bothering you. You follow me? You don't have to go into it. You ain't got to discuss it. You ain't got to debate it. You ain't got to say none of that. Just move. Move quietly. Go to Keisha and them. They slower. You feel me? They slow. I get it. But they love you. I don't know about you, y'all. I will not spend money on nobody that don't love me or don't respect me. Let's feel me. Hey, guess what, y'all? You know what else can permanently blind you, dog? I recommend bear mace. I recommend a pig poker. I recommend any type of things. You hear me? I agree with y'all. I don't patronize nobody disrespectful. You feel me? That's all I'm saying, y'all. I appreciate y'all giving me love and all that stuff. Hey, people, thank you, Miss Daniel. I love you too, love. Oh, 10, 20%. I'm telling you. Hey, I preach these messages not just for this. I tell my girls this. I tell my daughters. I tell my sisters this. I tell anybody this, man. If you don't want people to hurt you, harm you, be disrespectful to you. Hey, bear mace can totally blind you. Yes, so can putting your hands on you. Remember, first rule of law in nature, keep your hands and feet to yourself. Keep your hands or feet to yourself. You don't touch nobody. You don't threaten nobody. You don't make a claim towards nobody. I'm not saying go out and seek anything. I'm saying you have the right to defend yourself. Don't let nobody shame you about that. Don't let nobody tell you crazy about that. Any lady out in these streets, get that bear mace. Get it. I ain't saying pull it out and use it all the time. I ain't saying have it, but I'm saying have that thing on you. Non-lethal weapons, non-lethal defense mechanism are something I encourage. Do not be walking out here naked. Do not be walking out here like it's not problems going around. Do not be walking out here acting like everything is good. My lady know. My ladies know. I don't want you to have that thing on you, but I want you to have that mace on you. I want you to have the other thing on you. I want you to do whatever you got to do to protect yourself and make it home to me. That's the message I want you to really hit on tonight, man. And one of our final 3 videos, y'all, want y'all to tap into me. Share it live. Share it live. Share it live. Share it live, baby. Listen. Remember what I tell y'all about, y'all? Juneteenth was the weekend. But pay attention to people who make contempt videos while you're celebrating something. Pay attention.
We got that. We don't got why we can't have one. You know, if we have one, then man, New York is gonna pop. Yeah, bro. That's
the conversation is being had, y'all. And I want to hit y'all point. We got to have a big African Day parade in America. We have to have an African Day parade, not in Africa, not in the countries you come from, not in the places that you built up, but you want to have it in America? To me, I don't understand this. I've tried to, I've hard to understand it. But if I have the social norm, the social love, the feeling that I want to represent where I come from, but I'm not there doing it, why? You follow me? And there's no shade, there's no disrespect, but I want to understand, like, why? Why? What's the point? You feel me? What's the point of having that much cultural pride, that much cultural? You better have something on you. Don't ever walk around naked, ever. If you're not going to be there where it needs to happen at. But I want you to pay attention to something, y'all. There are 365 days a year. Why is it that parades, other Black heritage, other Black conversations, all have to happen around the Juneteenth month or Black History Month? Why? Do you know why? It is a undertone hostile takeover. Remember, people that have hostility for you show up when you're being celebrated, when you're graduating, when you get an award, when you're getting married, when something positive is happening for you. Follow me.
Man, what?
People have these conversations like this when you're winning. Ladies, if you got a homegirl, fellas, if you got a homeboy, whenever you win, they show up and say, I would have did that different. I wish we could have went about that one other way. I don't teach my kids like that. I wouldn't let that slide like that. Man, I just don't know, cuz. I mean, I hear you, but you shouldn't let that slide with her. I mean, he disrespecting you. You shouldn't let that disrespect last. Man, I understand how she treats you, but that's ungrateful. Man, I mean, I feel you in your little podcast or whatever, King Crowder, but I'm just too busy to check in. I know I could retweet and show you love, but why would I do that? I got my own love to show. I mean, I just ain't feeling it. No, I want y'all to catch something. What that is a undertone. There's subtle disrespect. There's overt disrespect. excuse me, and there is backhanded disrespect. I want you to know all three. I want you to be versed in all three. I want you to hear all three. I want you to move around all three. I don't want you to avoid none of them. What these type of conversations come up is because there is a secret animosity around Black Americans and the progress we've made here. We know Africa is a huge continent. We know it's plenty of room, plenty of space. Why would you feel you need to have a celebration or parade in a country that has nothing to do with your identity and what you do? You know, any of the Black American goals or holidays have been earned, have been breeded, have been researched, have been worked through. It is something that has blood, sweat, and tears in everything that we do here. Why on earth would you try to undermine it and think that way? It's because you truly feel that way. It's because you truly believe we don't deserve to have nothing. It is because you truly believe that I have some animosity towards you. The most dangerous thing that people that have no disrespect for you or ungarnishment to you do, they show you in your face. Do not let them slide. Do not let that go. Do not let that be around you. Remember, I'm not saying you don't observe your enemies. What I am saying is watch them. Move accordingly around them. Stop telling your homegirls your moves. Stop telling your homeboys you happy. Stop publicizing what you are doing for each other. It is so many things I do for my lady, y'all. I don't say nothing about. Simply buying stuff. Yeah, I'll do that for my family. Of course, for my girls. Of course. I'm going to do it. You feel me? There's no way I'm going to do and broadcast what I do for certain people. I don't say it. When that conversation, what's the conversation come about? Oh, what I'm spending, what I'm buying, man, I don't mention none of that. I'm going to buy for mine. I'm going to show love for mine. I'm going to do for mine. I'm not saying you can't do for yours because that's your family and that's your prerogative. But to go back and forth and say what I ain't going to do for my kids, my family, the people I love, no, I don't do that. I just don't. I just be quiet. For me, if you my lady, if you my children, I'm going to buy you whatever I can. I'm going to give you my last. I'm not going to say you're not going to earn it to work for it. But to say I'm not going to give or pay or do, that's conversation for people that has nothing on bearing on how I move and how I act. But what I do want you to get from this lesson is that I want you to see the contempt for people that have animosity towards you. I want you to see it. I want you to feel it. And I want it to resonate with you. I want you to watch how they move. I want you to see the energy. I want you to move accordingly. And I want to make sure that you put yourself first and you currently move from all of those haters, those people that have an animosity, a certain type of attitude about you. And the reason why I bring this up, y'all, is because in America moving forward, y'all, if you ain't been keeping up, you know I always love to read and check the news for you. Right now, we are in a record-breaking economy, time, and people with understanding. People say club culture is dead. It's because the young adults are struggling. People say love is gone. It is because the love is struggling. You feel me? I'm not here to make you be uncomfortable. I'm just here to tell you what the streets are talking about. I touch them daily. In the field, y'all, at the event that I had last weekend, there was almost 80 families. Let me get vulnerable right quick. You know how many children I met out there that didn't have no shoes on? You know how many grown people out there that don't have no shoes on? Do you know how many people that told me they didn't eat in 3 days? Do you know how many people are actually hungry right now? So the economy 5 years ago and the economy now is different. So when you hear articles like this is for you to keep in your nuggets so you can see how to move and go forward. Pay attention.
A new study by Realtor.com reveals that a third of young people are still living with their parents. These are not strictly college students looking to save money on room and board. We're talking about a record 25 million people under 35, higher than at any time in history.
I think it's higher than that, y'all. I think them numbers are kind of low. I don't think we really understand how many people need to be living with somebody. Remember, I had this conversation while I was out this weekend. No, you need each other. Follow me. You need each other. There is no more, I don't need you. You don't need a man. No. You need each other. You need your woman. You need your man. You need your family. You need each other. You feel what I'm saying? People are struggling, y'all. And it's not to make it feel devastating, y'all. It's just, I want y'all to feel me. I know people online to tell you one thing, but I want y'all to just feel what I'm saying. And people don't say it publicly all the time. And I would never put name to face or anything like that. But I want y'all to understand, man, like what's going on right now. 35% of people under the age of 35 are living at home and struggling. And that's okay. I would much rather my children live with me than go out in this world and have nothing. Parents, future parents, if you're going to have kids, you have to understand there is no more 18, get out. No. There is you build with them, you grow with them, you love them up, and you help them along the way. How we grew up, it is no more.
Now, that includes more than 20% of 25 to 29-year-olds and more than 10% of 30 to 34-year-olds. These young people aren't just sitting around at home. About 70% of them are employed. But a lot of them say...
I don't know many young people that don't have jobs. I don't know many young people that are not trying to get out of their situations. You follow me? It's just the economy that we're in. It is just the inflation. It is just the amount of rate to live and to have fun. Right now, we are in a cosmetic shift. Like I told you, y'all, we are all in a whirlwind where we got to change how we think, how we move, how we allow disrespect. We talk about it all. But the lesson I want you to learn moving forward that I really wanted to end it with, man, is the state of this country. You follow me? When we did that giveaway, that give back, that food, it was amazing. Number one, I love doing the community days. It's fun, right? Having my brothers out there, different backgrounds. We in the field, we making it happen. But I think it was twice the amount of people that I saw 2 years ago. It was a lot more people living in the hood than you know. It's a lot more people living in the projects than we know. It's a lot more people living in lower income housings than they were 3 years ago. It was filled. It was to capacity. Follow me. I was talking to the manager lady at that site and location. Their retention rate is almost 89%. Do you know what that means? Think about that for a second. I'm sorry, occupancy rate was 90%. That means 90% of the units in that low-income housing were filled. Stop telling me everything is okay. Stop telling me that things are not changing before our very eyes. It's what it is. And it's not the bad places. It's not the low income. It's not that I can't absolutely love. Hey, you are a blessed. Hey, I love to see that. Now, for me, let me go ahead and click her name so I can say it right. I love that, Miss Autumn. I love that. I don't know if I pronounce your name, Miss Poet. What I want you to do, I want you to get a man with that. You ain't winning to me until you get your hubby with that. I got too many brothers out here that need somebody good that's like you. I love it. Make sure you get married, you have some babies. That's what I want with you. I love that. But I want you to complete it. I want you to have somebody for real, for me.
Man, what?
But listen, like we saying, man, as we continue to go along this journey, as we continue to all live the American experience, as we continue to have these American-led conversations, man, these record lows, these my challenge is having a bad. Hey, you'll get there. You will get there. Hey, don't worry about that. Just have you a home. You follow me? Have you a home. Have you somebody. That's what I want from you, Miss Poet. I want that. I got too many good brothers out here that need women that are mentally get it. You need to get somebody. And if you need help, let me know. So for real. But that should be the goal for all of us, man, because it is a different economy. It's a different world. It's a different energy. It is everything different that we're moving forward. What does this mean, y'all? Moving forward from 2026 and beyond, the old ways are no longer working. You got to look out for yourself, your best interest, your best conversation, and what your children and other people are going to be dealing with these issues moving on. I want to thank you all for tapping in with another edition of Live on Sunday. Remember, Today's lesson tonight was about FBA boys being under attack, Juneteenth being an official Black American holiday, and non-FBA disrespect will no longer be tolerated, and we talk about it all. That's the main thing I wanted to talk about. That's the main thing I want to discuss. That's the main thing I all want to see moving forward. I want to tell y'all, man, if I didn't reply to you or I didn't respond to you, I appreciate you. I love you. I don't get everything. It's hard being white. No, man, you can try it out, man. Look, get a little second job, Uber, DoorDash, whatever you got to. I have a comments all on my own. I expect that the man that will ultimately be able to submit to an upkeep to build upon a foundation. I don't like them words now. I don't like them damn words, Miss Poet. Ain't about no foundation. That don't mean nothing. You need somebody that's going to love you and rub them feet. That job can't rub your feet at night. Don't make me go there. That job can't hold you like a man can. Thank you. Happy Father. Thank you too, love. Because remember, you don't get been so tired of being at home, so tired of being alone.
Man, what?
Let me go and get out of here again, y'all. Call your family, call your loved ones, call your friends. I love you. I go by the name King Crowder, man. I want to tell you, I appreciate you for checking back in for me this evening. Make sure you tap in with me Wednesday for my Mitchell midweek tap in. I'm going to make sure to bring some information back to you. I love you. I want you to call your friends, call your family, call your loved ones. Let them know that you appreciate them and you're thinking about them. Make sure you comment, you like, you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you check on your family members. Happy Juneteenth weekend. Happy Father's Day to all the daddies out there. And happy everyone that got to tap in and tap in with me. I love you. Until next time.